Hello everyone and welcome to Big Brother 16, What You Didn't See Week 5. I'm gonna give you the lowdown on everything that's been going on during the live feeds this week. Now, this week has been somewhat predictable, but I've done my best to scrounge up what I can. So, from the last episode we saw that Jocasta and Victoria are still on the block and Frankie remains the sole HOH. So Nicole finally got to take off her germictard, and in the way she did it, she performed an awkward lap dance for Hayden. And if awkward was what she was going for, she accomplished it. Good job, Nicole. Sadly enough, there was another family death inside the Big Brother house. Derek's grandfather also passed, I think a day after that Frankie's did, which is really unfortunate. I think he got a letter just the same, and all the house guests were really supportive, and it's very sore to hear, and it's good to see that the house guests can all come together, even though it's a crazy house, and come together and support each other. So Jocasta cried to Amber in the Beehive room about how Brittany took her story on how she had to break into her kids' piggy banks in order to pay the bills. Jocasta was really upset because she heard that Caleb was saying that Brittany took her kids' piggy bank money, but really it was Jocasta. I don't know, but Jocasta was crying up a storm to Amber, saying how it was like her worst days of her life, and how could someone steal such a heartbreaking story? Wah, who cares? The POV players were picked, and we have Frankie, of course, Victoria, Jocasta, Donnie, Hayden, and Christine, and Amber is the host. Hayden and Nicole are actually in the works of creating a solid alliance with Derek, along with Christine and maybe Donnie. So they're thinking of kind of like a final four, final five deal. So that could be a really strong alliance, and that's kind of what I've been hoping for from that group of people, because they all seem to be flying under the radar inconspicuously enough, which is kind of strange because if I was in the Big Brother house, they would probably be my main target. The winner of the power of veto is Hayden. Hayden and Frankie talk in the HOH room, and they talk about who are they going to pull down, because Amber is the target this week. As you know, as I said a million times in the broadcast episode, but Amber seems to be the target this week. So Frankie and Hayden discuss who they're going to pull down from the block and replace them with Amber. Hayden wants to use it on Victoria because they're friends, and Victoria actually chose Hayden from the random draw for the POV, so I guess that's saying something. And Hayden used the defense that Jocasta has been saved from the block already, so I guess that just makes sense to save Victoria, even though wasn't Victoria saved from the block as well. Who knows what Hayden's thinking, so I guess he wants to use the veto on Victoria. So obviously there's been talk about backdooring Caleb over Amber this week. Frankie doesn't really want to do that though, because Caleb is kind of his ally in the game, or so he thinks, but Caleb has actually been a little bit wary of Frankie, Hayden, and Zach, just because he's getting word that they aren't trusting him and they're actually trying to work to get him out of the house eventually. Frankie and Zach want to sit Caleb down and confess the fact that Amber actually doesn't like him and tell them her true feelings for him. And this is in hopes to get him to agree with the fact that they want to put her up. The have-not food is deep fish pizza, and Caleb immediately grabbed a fish and bit its head off. Zach, actually on his own, while playing pool, reveals to Caleb about how Amber truly feels, and Caleb seems to be pissed. He immediately starts saying, "Oh, she can play her own game then, and I'm gonna stop protecting her. Let's see how well she does on her own," and stuff like that. He starts being all passive aggressive and saying that he doesn't care, but it's quite obvious that he cares a lot. This Amber and Caleb thing is getting real crazy. Frankie talks to Caleb and then tells him that Amber is going to go on the block. Caleb is now okay with this because he wants Amber to be scared. He wants a little bit of payback for her unappreciativeness. He also thinks that she's going to be safe, so we'll see how that goes. Not to toot my own horn here, but if you watch my Big Brother 16 cast review video, you'll see that every person I said is going to be a pre-jury boot has been. Just saying. Team America actually convinces Zach to go on another rant during the POV ceremony. Zach was practicing ripping Amber apart, saying that she's not trustworthy, that she's completely unthankful to Caleb, etc., etc. All the things about the have-not room, about throwing the blankets on him. Apparently he said that during the veto competition, or at least he was practicing saying that before the veto competition. So Minister Jocasta shows up and throws a memorial service for both Frankie and Derek's grandfathers, which is really nice. It was actually quite a nice thing for her to do. It was a little strange because she had her whole minister outfit with her. I mean, What went through her brain to think it would be a good idea to bring that? I mean, I guess it worked out in this situation. Maybe Big Brother got it sent to her or something, but if she brought that with her, that's kind of weird. Caleb tried to plan a prank or something on Amber while she was sleeping. He was speculating about all these things like bananas and ice cubes, and I don't know what he was speculating about, but he was really gung ho about pulling a prank on Amber while she's sleeping. He ended up throwing a pillow at her in the dark while she was in bed asleep, and he threw it at her and immediately ran away. She woke up confused, and that was that. Good job, Caleb. Good job. Caleb talks to Amber in the beehive room and reassures her that she is safe, but that he has been a little bit angry about how she has been treating him, of course. He also tells her that if she goes home, he would feel obligated to gift her any money he receives while in the jury house. So that means if the money he makes from Big Brother while in the jury house, they each make a weekly per diem thing. So they each make weekly paychecks, and everything he makes from jury, he says he would give to Amber if she were evicted because he would feel fully responsible for her eviction. Newsflash, Caleb, she is going to be evicted on Thursday, and newsflash, Caleb, I don't think you're allowed to do that. Caleb is now running to everyone, especially Frankie, campaigning for Amber to stay and to send Jocasta home. Who is going to send Jocasta home? Caleb has also been telling some really tall stories recently, saying that he's held many professions, including being a military specialist, how he went to West Point, how he is and was a firefighter, and my personal favorite, how he was supposed to have a role in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And, no, I quote, he said that his one line, he was supposed to have one line, and that his one line was going to pay him $1 million. The reason he couldn't make the movie is because the girl who got him the role was sick or something, and she couldn't make it, so therefore he couldn't make it. Anyways, it all sounded like a big old fib to good old Dylan here. Something that was really funny that I saw in the feeds was that Zach and Caleb faked a pretty heated argument. They were yelling and screaming at each other and had the whole house thinking that they're about to throw down. It was awesome. So Zach just basically said, hey, want to fake a fight? And there's a couple people in the HOH room who were in on it. So Zach and Caleb just start yelling at each other. Zach starts saying like, you're beast mode cowboy piece of shit or something like that, and then Nicole, Cody, and Derek are in the kitchen and they can overhear this, and Nicole is like, oh my god, freaking out. Cody and Derek, I swear to god, I've never seen anyone run so fast. They booked it up the HOH stairs and wanted to see what happened right away, and were met with everyone laughing. It was hysterical. I really hope they show it on the broadcast episode because that was funny. So it looks like Amber is going home 100%, no shadow of a doubt. I don't know who in their right mind would send Jocasta home over her. Jocasta is like a non-entity in this freaking game right now. Does she even talk a game? Does she even know where she is? Is she even playing Big Brother? Jocasta, do something! So it looks like Zach is the main target for next week, which is really unfortunate because he's super entertaining. Probably the most entertaining house guest in the house right now, in my opinion. All his antics make me laugh hardcore, and all his antics are gonna get him booted out the house, unfortunately. Nobody is really into his game right now. The only people who would keep him safe is like Team America, maybe, because they are using him for all their tasks, but who knows what's gonna happen. Unfortunately, Zach seems to be the target for next week, but we'll see. And that's all I have for week 5 of Big Brother 16, What You Didn't See. This is probably the shortest episode yet. It's a really predictable week. Amber's going home. Not much excitement has happened on the live feed, so that's all I have. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, scroll on down to the like button, tap it, and that'll make my day. And sorry about this random setup. It won't be like that next week. See you guys.